Cry me a river. That's what I titled the video I'm about to show you now. Hello everyone. I'm sure most of you know that Peter Obi was on X Space. I tell you, joining that space became almost like a nightmare. It was almost like an impossibility, clearly almost abandoning the whole thing. But the people were waiting. And how do you abandon something you said you were going to do? So that was not even in the question. And so we had to find a way to actually make Mr. Peter Obi attend that space meeting. I've heard all sorts of permutation, whatever. Aisha this, Aisha, what are you doing talking to somebody's husband at 11? I say our spouses are not complaining. Why are you drinking Panadol for their headache? Just calm down. So far, over 300,000 people tuned in to listen to Mr. Peter Obi on Twitter alone, talk less of, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and the rest. A whole lot went on in that whole space. But let me give you, before I go on, just take a look at this.
What did you for this app? I think there's none talking. Mr. Joseph.
Oh, okay, please, can you see Mr. Joseph and bring him on? So that's PO where he is with the Mr. Joseph.
I think you feel your own working.
Yeah, I see my own working. Because so we are using, he's joining this through WhatsApp to join this. In the meantime, I think I can see Joseph IK connecting. He's still connecting, sir. So go ahead, sir. Why they connect him?
No problem, I'm fine.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so I think for now are we able to keep using this medium to ask him questions while we're waiting on that connection? Auntie Aisha?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay, great. All right, let's get right into the questions from the panelists, and then we will bring up speakers in just a bit. N6, please go ahead. You have the microphone.
All right, thank you very much. Before we get to the panelists, because on the back end, some of our panelists are on the tech team as well, this is the time I'll pick just the first question from the comments. There are 2.9,000 comments and more than 10,000 people on the platform. Let me just go to the comments.
I'll be very quick. What I've been lacking in our political space is issue to do with character and integrity. Character is what defines a human being.
Well. As simple as that looked, it was all craziness before that. I'm sure if you really looked at my face, I was a bit stressed. Even though it's not showing very much in my face, I was really stressed inside. We needed to get this on. Let me take a backstory. Let me just calm down. I'm sure there are people who really don't know the whole story coming here. On Sunday, Mr. Peter Obi was supposed to do a space discussion on X. So a space means it's a live discussion where people come together and then you're talking. You guys know about that, right? And so the space was supposed to happen at 8 p.m. At 7:30 something, myself and Pio were on phone, we were discussing certain things, certain strategy that needed to be done. And then he was like, oh, no, Aisha, I have to go. It's 7:32. I need to go and prepare for my space. Meanwhile, he traveled from where he was to get back to Lagos. He was in Lagos when this happened because so sometimes when he wants to do his basic, make sure he's in place where there will be an issue of internet and all of that. Some other states, they always have problem with internet. So he had prepared everything ready. So I'm like, okay. And then at around 8 o'clock, so I went into the space just to see is he around. I went in, I didn't say, okay, maybe he has not joined. Around like 10-15 minutes, I wasn't sitting, so I called and I was like, what's going on? I was like, he now said he has been trying to join since before 8 p.m. because he usually, so what normally happens, because a lot of people would come in, he would go in before time, and then why he, so that they are not trying to finding it hard to get him, to bring him, on stage. So usually he tries to go in before the program even starts. And so I'm like, okay, he wasn't going. He said he couldn't. He keeps going in. He's hearing everything, but nobody apparently is seeing him. And then we're like, fine. And I could hear the space, because you will see him playing the space. He will show like some of these, those ones were there. I'm so glad that this video was even done, and some of those pictures that were taken, that I shared. And we just kept going, and I could see, because at one time we kept talking, I could hear. Later I switched to camera, like let's see what's going on. We now swear, I followed one after the other, and I see a lot of people. One of the persons that I would really say well done to is Peter Obi's wife, Mrs. Margaret Peter Obi. Amazing, because she was the tech person. When somebody say, oh, women in tech, she included the women, because we were trying to get it through on his app. And I said, okay, go DM. They sent DM to him from the space, that the people that are doing the space sent the DM to Pio, as in click on the DM, so it brings you up as a speaker. It wasn't clickable in his own, like his wife were like, we're on it. I put her to go to the DM, do this. It wasn't, clicking. I now called the person, Saddam, that is doing the parallel fast. Let me see at what time did I even call, Saddam. So I tell you, for over 2 hours, I think, we're working on getting people to join this space. It just wasn't happening. People were trying to get this thing done. So I called Saddam, and I'm like, see what is going on. We're going through this. Can we come? I even forwarded some of the things, because it was not like, okay, let me see where today. Okay, when I call, okay, this at 8:38 was the first time that I called Saddam of Parallel Facts. At 8:38, 8:41, I also called him, and I forwarded to him the things that they were saying, like he had joined. Peter Obi had joined, but it wasn't go. He could see the number of people that were there. You could see everything. You could see he had joined, but they weren't seeing him. And see him there. So we're now like, okay, maybe he pressed anonymous. Sometimes you can be on space, and you just press anonymous. You're listening in anonymously. He checked. He didn't press anonymously. We went back and forth. It's just the whole drama. You can't just, you could see it as in. And then he said, look at me here. But nobody could see him on the space. Because even on the space, they were saying, anyway, if you just see Peter Obi, everybody stop requesting. If you see him anywhere, raise your hand. Maybe others are not seeing, because there are so many people, but beside you, like this particular, let me note this place. Now, this particular, if you look at this particular as a picture that I show you of his son, you could see people that were close to him. So if any of them, this is where he was with these other people, if any of them sees him, raise your hand. They were not seeing him at all. They couldn't see him. Nobody could. I sent this to Saddam, like, he's on, he's trying to. Then we tried that. Can he use another phone? Usai. That did this thing. Then so we now said, okay, there was someone who was with him. That's the Joe Joseph you heard us talking about. Like, let's bring him in. That handle was brought in. The same thing all started up. And he said, I've also sent Mike to him. So that one entered. And then somehow he just wasn't able to. We kept talking. I'm like, this conversation. So for you to see this thing, right? Myself and Parallel Facts, Saddam started conversation at 8:38. By 9:41, we're still on it. Even if it's that time alone, that's already more than 1 hour. 9:41, we're still on it. Like, make Joe a speaker. Tell him to go to the DM, rejoin, and do this. It just wasn't going. So at was it? This is like is this? Okay, yeah. Okay, no, this was where he had started. I was just saying 11 something, because 11 something was when I was telling the police you need to round up, because he has been waiting since he has another meeting that he was going to go to. So at 9:42 we still haven't started. We were going, it was crazy. Everything that could be done to make POA speak, to make him even be seen. We are not even talking about listener now. We had to go with updated app. We did this, we did that. Whose side? Nothing was happening. Nothing was doing. Nothing was going on. Then the next thing, I was just now like, okay, you know what? Why don't you? While we are talking, so at one time I now joined proper. And I went in and I requested for Mike. They gave me, I was like, please guys, we're sorry, this is what is happening. PO is having difficulties coming in. He's entering there, but nobody is seeing him. He can hear everything that is being done, but nobody is seeing him. And it's not anonymous. So please, we're working on it. We'll get it. At one time, PO was a bit, worried. He was like, because he needs to be there. I was like, Pio, please just calm down, no problem. This thing, by the grace of God, we're going to get it done. The reason why I'm doing this video, I'm not doing this video for validation. You understand? I don't do for validation. For me, I want everybody to take this whole process on and look at it from another angle. That wherever there is a problem, there is a solution, look for it. That has always been my life. If I tell you the story of my life, you will be shocked. If I tell you the number of times I've been told, don't do something, forget about it, just give up, leave it. Is it from when my niece had a hole in her heart? Yesterday I recounted that story. Everybody, including her parents, told me it's okay to give up. I said no. Till that girl got to India and she was operated upon. And I tell you today, she's in JS1 and doing brilliantly, extremely brilliant, brilliant young girl. I refused to. I paid for a ticket to take her to India. The airline refused to carry her because they said she wasn't fit to fly. They didn't have enough oxygen and all of that. I went on to, I said, even the parents said to me, it's okay. Maybe God, she's not meant to leave and all of that. My mom called me because of the way I was on. Everything for me, everything must be solved. That's why I don't focus on the result. I focus on the effort, because that's the one that is in my control. If there's a problem, go after it and find that solution. No matter what, it might be the most whatever idea, you will find a way around it. That's why when people tell me, oh, Nigeria cannot what, I say no, we've not made it work. We sit down here, we will put everything in, and we will make it work. So while we're doing all of that, that's why I said, okay, you know what, Pio, why don't you let me join this thing? I'm already on Twitter. I'm talking to you on WhatsApp. Let's build this thing together and let's have this WhatsApp, so that while you are talking on WhatsApp, it's entering the Twitter. What they are saying on Twitter is entering what you're doing. And that was how we started. I was like, okay, let's test it and see whether it will go. And you saw how that whole thing, it was clear. Even people who were on Space said it was very clear. The only time, because I had to hold those phones, I was standing immediately. You saw that earlier, I was standing. I was like, because I thought it was supposed to be like a very short. I never expected that was the only means that we will use throughout that thing. I was like, let them hear him, that he's trying to get, why we make that other handle, Joseph's handle, because they were together on it. His wife doesn't have, Twitter. And by the way, funny enough, I see a lot of people talking all sorts of nonsense. It was his wife's phone that we were using, because his phone was supposed to be the one to join. She had to now. So when we use it, she didn't have to even leave the phone, because for him to use it, we couldn't use his own phone, because initially that was what was being used to join the space. I see people say all sorts of things, but anyway, that's politics. Talk what you want to talk. Me, I did on this matter of fix Nigeria by the grace of God. We will fix Nigeria by the grace of God, and it will work, and it will work for everybody. And those people who were naysayers, they will see it. I'm used to people telling me it can't be done. All my life, I have been told things cannot be done. I just look at it, I will laugh. I will continue what I do. I put in my all. And when it doesn't get done, I don't feel anything, because I know I gave it my all. So that's, for me, it's always about giving full measure. So when we started that conversation, I did not expect I was going to hold those phones for 2 hours, 41 minutes. At you know, when I got a bit tired, so I kept the phones, I put them on the table, and then they'll be saying that it's faint, they can't hear. So I have to now hold them again, because I propped them together. I had to now take them back and hold them, because holding them was just the best way they could hear. And ironically, something that was so ironic was the fact that nobody called, only one person called me on WhatsApp. And when I rejected it, the person didn't call again. Usually my phone is that phone that it's ringing. Even when I'm on call or whatever, it keeps coming, going, coming. This one, there was nothing like that. There was nothing like that. Nothing. The phone was just there. Nobody did call. We did this conversation. People heard. They could answer. They could do everything. It was just so amazing. For me, please, if you're watching this video, I know this video is so long. If you're watching this video, I just want to say to you, if there's a problem, it can be solved. There's no problem that there's no solution to it. All we need to do is to put our heads together and get it solved. Don't let people who tell you that it cannot be done be the ones that win. Even if they are going to defeat you, let them defeat you. Let it not be that you self-defeated yourself by not doing all you can and by giving up too early. You see this thing called Nigeria, we can fix it, and by the grace of God, we will fix it. The people who are destroying Nigeria, who have put Nigeria, this dysfunctional system that we have, to work for them, they do everything to tell us, to say to our minds, to tell us that we cannot achieve this thing. It's because they know that if we achieve it, that's the end for them. I say to you, if you're listening to me, and I say to you, if you're listening to me, stand up. Fight for a better Nigeria. Don't believe whatever. If one way doesn't work, there's another way. There are millions of ways to make it work. If you try one, it didn't work, no problem, you try again. If we fail, we learn from the failure, we continue again. This thing that has happened, we have learned from it. We are going to mitigate it next time and work on. A lot of times when PO wants to join spaces, they are waste a lot of electronic technological attack, not just him joining spaces, even on his phone and all of that. That's why sometimes he wants spaces where there is no announcement. You just start a space, you should start talking. But the thing about that is that then people are not prepared enough for them to be able to, then know that he's going to be on space, so that there's nothing being done to attack, to attack and compromise his devices. But as it is, we will find that way, we will find that solution, we'll find a way of going through it, as long as we know we are going to get to the end of the place. I tell you that you have done something one way and it did not work. Please don't ever believe that it will not work. Just take it like this is not the way it's going to work, that there is another way that it's going to work, and you will make that other way that it's going to work, and you do it. You saw from the way technology was used to almost thwart our effort, Mr. Peter Obi's effort to join that tweet and have that conversation. You also saw how we also use another technology to get it done. It might not be the best of technology. It might not be a fantastic idea. It might not be a brainy idea. It might not be a genius idea. Baby, it was an idea that worked, and he achieved the result he wanted to achieve, which was on that day, join space and have a conversation with people. And now you're seeing over 300,000 have tuned in. People are still listening to it. People are still listening to the recording and all of that. That is all that matters. It doesn't matter. It might not be a brilliant idea. Like I saw someone say, but you could have apology, a little bit of hiccup there. So it might not be the best of idea. It might not be the best of whatever, but we got it done. And that is what is mostly critical. So I say to you, let's stand up. You see this 2027. This 2027 that is coming by the grace of God, may God let us live till then. We will put in our every effort. You see that last election, 2023 election, they rigged it. Shame on them. If they rig 2027, it will be shame on us. And we don't feel forehand at all. We dey here, and anyhow way the water is going to be aura for aura.